Hello, my dear students. 안녕하세요, Korean students. And hello, my dear foreign students. First of all, thanks a lot for joining this class. I'm Professor Olga, and we start our online lectures about the global strategies in the high-tech industries. So, in general, we will have 12 online lectures, and today we start our first online lecture. So here you can see the title of my first topic. Actually, we may divide this course into two different areas. The first area, global markets and global strategies, and the second area, technology entrepreneurship and startups in global environment. And my task to help you to understand how can we combine these two different areas and how can we create effective global strategy for our technology startup or technology company. Okay, that's why you can see the content of my first lecture. So actually I'm going to start with the definition. What does it mean, technology entrepreneurship? And what are the main elements and features of technology entrepreneurship in global environment? That's why I'm going to discuss with you global markets, global industries, and the recent trends in global markets. What are the recent technologies which help the global companies to survive in the competitive area? What kind of startups do we have nowadays in different countries and in global environment? What kind of technologies help us to create competitive strategies and provide even our own ideas into the global markets? After that, we will try to discuss the business dynamics, because if we want to develop effective and competitive business strategy for high-tech startup project or high-tech company, we have to create this business dynamics, because through dynamics we have development, we achieve development, and through this development we may create sustainable competitive strategy. And I will submit into the conclusion of this first lecture the definition of the technology ventures in the global context. And we will try to understand what kind of ventures do exist in the global environment, what kind of partnership we may arrange, and why we should think about the collaboration with technologies in the global environment. Okay, right now I hope that you're ready to move forward to the next slide. And here I want to start with a definition. So actually, let's start with general definition. What does it mean, entrepreneurship, and what is the difference between local or national entrepreneurship and international entrepreneurship? And also, we have to be focused on the technology entrepreneurship. Okay, in general, entrepreneurship is, and you may find different aspects here. Let's try to discuss all of them. The first aspect, entrepreneurship is a process. It means that we have some kind of steps in this process. We have to manage these steps. And the problem is we have to investigate what kind of steps do we have into the entrepreneurship. How can we build relationship between these steps? And what kind of managerial tools we should submit for these steps? Also, we have to investigate the final task of this process. Actually, we build entrepreneurship in local markets and international markets because we want to achieve some value or achieve some opportunity. And you see that these tasks is very close to the results of the SWOT analysis when we try to investigate the strengths, weaknesses, threats, or opportunities of our business. Also, it's very close to the market goals and market strategies, because if we want to reach the global market or even the other segment of our national market, always we try to understand the environment. We try to get the opportunities from this environment. And we want to move or transfer this opportunity to our strengths. And of course, in global environment, we should have some kind of competitive factors. What are they? Actually, to survive in global environment, we need to submit some critical issues for our high-tech project or high-tech startup. It should be focused on the critical thinking issues, critical competencies, and of course, critical values. So if we can combine these three things, we can create competitive strategy. What next? We should define the difference between entrepreneurship, general entrepreneurship, technological entrepreneurship, and international entrepreneurship. So as I mentioned, general entrepreneurship, it means the process of achieving some values and opportunities. The technology entrepreneurship can be recognized as the same process of achieving values and opportunities, but with using technologies. So technology entrepreneurship, it means that we have some kind of technologies, and of course it's preferable to have advanced technologies for the global markets, and we use these technologies also to achieve values and create opportunities. And the third definition, international entrepreneurship or international technology entrepreneurship. It's a process when we use technologies to achieve global market and create competitive strategy in the global market. This is the most important definition. Now let's discuss the entrepreneurial perspective, and you may look through this slide. Actually, I submit also some kind of case study here, and I submit the web link. So if you have time at home, please watch this short video, follow this web link, and you will find the interesting story about the entrepreneurial perspective in global environment. But right now, I want to show you all the areas which should be discussed when we try to develop global strategies for high-tech industries. So actually, entrepreneurial is being opportunity driven, but not resource constrained. It means that we may use our resources. For example, technology is also our resource, but we have to match these opportunities according to match this and use these resources according to the opportunities. Yeah. And here are the different levels of the global business. Individual level, when we try to submit our ideas in the global environment, and sometimes we have to persuade our partners to follow our technologies, to join our project, to accept our startup project. Yeah. The next level, organizational level, when we try to arrange the partnership between different companies in global market. Also, organization, it means some kind of network. We may build strong network, and this network will be based on technology. For example, we create virtual campus, and we try to manage our startup through this virtual campus. And actually, we have team members from different countries. The next level, region or country, or also the country level. So regional or country level, it means that we present our high-tech startup or our high-tech company to the several countries, but in one region. You know that we have different regions nowadays in our world. For example, American region, European region, African region, Australian region, and Asian region. Yeah. So in this case, if we try to push our startup or technology or company into the Asian region, it means that we cooperate with countries in this region. Yeah. And government, of course, when we try to start our business or initiate the technology development, R&D, for example, process in the global environment, we have to follow some legal standards and legal instructions. That's why we have to be focused on the governmental issues and try to cooperate with local governments. What else? The challenge. So actually, we have to do a lot of things to be successful entrepreneur. So to build this successful entrepreneurship in global environment. Let's try to define these challenges. Here you can find the scheme. In the central part, we have the entrepreneurial process. As I mentioned before, if we discuss technology entrepreneurship, and we have some kind of technologies which are included into the entrepreneurial process, and actually the whole management system is based on the technology, and we try to manage our startup using some kind of technologies. So it means that we have technology entrepreneurship or technology entrepreneurial process in global environment. What we should do to be successful entrepreneurs in global environment? We should investigate the environment itself. It means that we should find the outside or external factors which may affect our strategy and our proposal. What are these factors? It can be political factors, legal factors, economical factors, cultural factors, and of course technological factors. Different trends, different models, and different strategies in this case may affect our solution. What kind of technology we should use for this global environment, what kind of startup project we may start. The next, we should investigate the entrepreneur or entrepreneurial model itself. You should understand that usually we have different business models. And before we start investigating our strategy in global environment, we should understand what kind of business model we will choose. For example, we may apply for marketing business model. It means that we will be focused on marketing issues more than other issues in our business. If we will choose the technological entrepreneur model, it means that we will be based on technology and our major focus will be built upon the technology. The another issue, we have to discuss all resources. Why we should do this? The first reason, we are talking about the technology entrepreneurship in global environment. That's why we have to define not only technology itself, but also it's necessary to investigate all kind of resources which we may use for our entrepreneurship in global environment. What are these resources? We may investigate financial resources. For example, do we have enough investment, or we should apply for additional investment and we should create business plan for our technology project. Also, what's happened with our human resources? Do we have enough employees with relevant skills who want to join our project, or we should hire people in other countries, or maybe we will manage expatriates, so we are going to hire the people from other countries to join our project and move to another company, to another country. For example, they want to join our project in our country. After that, the concept, we should define the concept. This concept should have strategy, definition, the goal map, of course, and the different operations, how we are going to manage our strategy for this project. And of course, we should think about the organizational context. So which type of organizational design we should provide for our business? What is the size of our project? What are the elements of our innovation process? Because most of the technology or high-tech startups in global environment, they are based on innovation process. So we have to define all the steps of innovation process and recognize the problems which may occur during the innovation management process. Okay. So that's why the challenge of the global technology entrepreneurship to embed this process into the strategies, cultures, structures, procedures, and jobs. So we have to think about the all areas of management. And of course, we may build cooperation or think about the tight partnership with other teams, members, individuals, or even companies in global environments. So that's why we may choose the private, non-profit, or public sectors. We may invite individuals to join our projects, or we may hire the employees in global markets. And of course, we should define the size of our business. Usually in global environment, we may start with the small size of our project or business, and after that, if we are successful, so we may expand our business. Here the example of the Nikes company. So it's famous Dutch company, and they create the specific model of the technology entrepreneurship, and they try to recognize the needs of an entrepreneur in the global environment. Let's try to follow their model. So here in the central part, they submit the entrepreneur and enterprise itself, and they define four major areas. In these areas, we may find the needs of the entrepreneur if we want to enter the foreign markets, for example, with some kind of entrepreneurship, or we try to develop the new startup into the foreign markets. So what are these four areas? Scope, from ideas to strategy. So the first area, of course, we have to define our goal, tasks. We have to explain our expectations. So what kind of results do we expect from this startup? Of course, we should define the scale of our strategy. Do we need investment? Do we have our own financial program and our own money and savings? What kind of strategy do we want to implement exactly? Of course, it's better to investigate the opportunity of the social network contracts with whom we may arrange such kind of contracts, because the social network may help us to find the best opportunities, to check the experiences, to find best people with the excellent skills, and even promote our project and develop our project in global environment. And of course, skills themselves. So what kind of skills do we need for our project or for different elements of our organizational structure? And please understand that for different parts of the same business, for different elements of the same project, usually we need different set of skills. And a little bit later, we will discuss it in class. And here you can find three entrepreneurial orientations. So we may choose this approach, for example, innovativeness. It means that we choose innovative strategy. We are going to be based on innovative strategy. We will create the innovation process for our startup project, and we will try to develop this project just following through these innovative steps. If we choose the second type of orientation, risk-taking, it means that we do not based on innovation process, but we want to take care about the risk management, prevent different types of risks in global environment, and we're going to be focused more on risk-taking. And the third type of orientation in global environment, it's the management orientation, proactiveness. So it means that we will arrange a lot of forecasting. Maybe we want to create three different scenarios for our startup development: pessimistic scenario, optimistic scenario, and realistic scenario. Yeah, and we will show three different approaches. How can we survive in global markets, and how can we develop effective strategy? Okay, what's happened next? How you know that when we try to push the technology into the foreign markets, or if we want to arrange the startup in foreign markets, we have to find sources for new ideas. So here you may find the recommendation how to be creative, how to find these sources for the new ideas, how to collaborate for these new ideas, and how to share these ideas among all participants within the global project. So here you may find five different areas. The first area, grace. Ideas come from now, here. So it means that every day, every time, we should ask or announce for ideas, and we should accept all kind of ideas and check them. Accident, suddenly, ideas arise by chance. So we may use such kind of approach when we are expecting some kind of case or situation, and if it's happened, we just get the new ideas. The third approach, personality. Ideas, a human trait of some. So we're looking for the best people because we want them to provide us ideas. Association, the fourth approach, applying knowledge to new areas. It means practical skills. So all of us, we have enough skills, we understand the concept of our project, we know how to promote our startup project into the global area, and we need to share this knowledge, yeah, and apply for the new knowledge in the global environment. And cognition. Action stimulates creativity, so it means that we try to create the specific environment and stimulate the creativity process, maybe through the brainstorming or team building or case study discussion and other tools in the global environment. Here the another linkage between the creativity, innovation, and society. So here you may find the definition how to create the well created and well prepared new projects in the global environment. The first concept, most of the successful projects or startups nowadays, they're based on the innovation. So that's why I always try to explain you that it's necessary to develop the innovation process and explain each step in this innovation process. It helps to be more creative, of course. But also when you try to manage these steps in innovation process, you have to recognize the creativity process and apply for this creativity process for each step. And after that, we have to understand how can we share our creativity, our ideas to the society, to the markets, because you should recognize that in the markets we have some kind of society. And we may find the different social groups of customers in the markets, yeah? So here you may find the definitions of the more innovative society. Values learning, so it means that customers, partners, suppliers or distributors and even ourselves, all of us, we understand the values which may be created through the learning and knowledge sharing. Strong cultural reinforcements. So it means that we try to create some kind of family environment. We understand and accept cultural diversity. We apply for the cultural risks, and we try to build the intercultural communication and team building. Builds human capital. So we want to increase the competences. We want to increase this capital. We take care about the people and their trainings. We take care about the promotion, career development. And of course, we motivate the employees in our project to submit more ideas and produce more for the final result. And of course, the last one, highly specialized to master subfields. So it means that we have to define the specific issues of our project, specific fields, and we have to create more for these specific fields. What's next? Here, again example of the Nikos, the Danish company. So, and here you may find the same entrepreneurship in networks. And earlier we discussed the entrepreneurship of this company and the four major areas where we may meet the entrepreneurship issues. And here you can see example, how can we develop this entrepreneurship in global areas? So they defined also the 4 areas which may help us to develop our startup project or our company in the global area if we take care about the technologies. We should arrange the research. It can be R&D, research and development. It can be market research. It can be human research, any kind of research. Teaching. We have to apply teaching, technological teaching, marketing teaching, entrepreneurial teaching. So also we have to take care about the different areas of teaching. And we have to teach not only our employees, but also our customers, why not? And our partners, if they participate in the same approach which we use. Training and consultancy, so we may ask another agencies or another members of the market, another companies, for example, help us with some kind of issues. Maybe we try to provide outsourcing and do other things. And of course, business development support. So here you can find the examples. How can we develop our business and what kind of technologies may help us to support this business? Different tools you may find here. Global Startup, for example, brainstorming, top activities. It means the training of the performance. So when we create the performance and try to check them, so here you may investigate which areas help us to develop our technology entrepreneurship in global area. Here I want to show you the entrepreneurial process itself. As I mentioned before, most of the entrepreneurial process in global environment, they based on innovation process. Also, if we are talking about the high-tech industries. Here you can find three major steps of this entrepreneurial process. Opportunity recognition, so we have to apply for market research, idea generation here. After that, we have to develop this opportunity. Maybe we have to build this network with our partners, with our suppliers, and they will improve our strategy. And we have to create values. Values, it means some kind of benefits or strengths or extra opportunities of our business and our product. What else we can find here? The imagination. So through all these steps, we have to be creative. We have to imagine the final product. We have to prevent some possible risks, and we have to manage all the process. And here you can find the process of the value creation. So first of all, I want to start with the examples. What kind of values we may find in the global environment. The first example, for example, quality of our project, quality of the technology, quality of our product. Yeah. The second, technology itself. For example, we want to develop new technology in global market. That's why we arrange some kind of global R&D project. Yeah. The another value, for example, we are looking for the competitive strategy and we want to arrange the partnership. The strong partnership may also be our value. Why we should investigate this value and why should we create this value program? The first reason, the values usually help us to be more competitive in global markets. Actual value can help us to promote briefly our project or show the benefits of our startup if we are looking for the investment. And here you can find the different capitals which affect this value, cultural capital, so we may achieve this value through the intercultural communication. We may achieve value through the strategic orientation. We may get value through the economic capital, so if we calculate in appropriate style all our costs and revenues. And of course, we may get some benefits from the human resources and social capital from the markets. Yeah. And also we follow through the same steps into the entrepreneurial process: opportunity recognition, opportunity preparation, and opportunity exploitation. So here you see the model how to create value in different research types. So you know that if we try to push the startup or technology into the foreign market, we start our technology entrepreneurship, so we have to create value and we may use different research types. So here at the top of this table, the red color, you can find the research process and different research types: fundamental research, demonstrator research, or integrated applicator research, more practical. So from fundamental to the application, it means from the theory to the practice. And also on the left, the blue color, it means the valorization process. So actually the steps of our entrepreneurial process, which we already discussed during the previous slide: opportunity recognition, opportunity preparation, and opportunity exploitation. Yeah, and here are the examples of the strategies or forms of creating value. How can we create value and what kind of value we may achieve? For example, if we choose the demonstrator as our research tool, and we are just on the first step of opportunity recognition, so we have to find the inventors, we have to prepare the business plan for inventors, and at least prepare 2 external opinions on business aspects. So it means that it's better to ask other participants of this story or other members of the market what kind of scenario we may apply. Yeah, and you can see that usually we move from these areas. We start from the opportunity recognition, and usually we start with the fundamental research type and move to the practical or integrated research type and finish with opportunity exploitation. Here you may find the characteristics of successful support of technology entrepreneurial process. So actually these tips may help us to support our technology startups in the global environment. So the first characteristics, multidimensional. So we have to think about the strategy, organizational design, networks, economics, and other things when we create our startup story in global environment. We may choose multi-level networking. For example, we identify our company level or project level. We may choose the regional level, or we may build the global networks. It means that we choose the global market and try to recognize all the issues for the global market. Yeah. Or we may choose multi-actor characteristics and support. So we try to combine different competencies, and we want to achieve these competencies from all partners of our startup project. Here you should check the different types of marketing strategies in the global environment. So if we based on the technology, we may start with such kind of strategy, technology push, you can find here in the top of this picture. So if we initiate some kind of startup project and we already developed technology, or we already finished our concept of this technology, we have to push this technology into the market, and we follow through the technology to the products and markets. So we develop technology, we sure how can we use this technology for products manufacturing, and after that we try to promote these final products with this technology to the markets. But sometimes in technology entrepreneurship, we may meet another type of marketing strategy, market pull. You may find here market pull. It means that we start with markets. So we start with market research. We haven't yet developed any kind of technology or product. We start with market investigation. After that, we try to apply for the technology and create some kind of products which match the needs and wants of the customers. And we must focus on the satisfaction of the customers. Yeah. In any cases, even if we choose technology push strategy or market pull strategy, we need market feedback. So that's why we have to ask customers or our partners what's happening in the markets. Do they like our technology? What do they think about our technology? How can we develop our startup project, or how can we arrange changes for our business? Yeah, that's why we should arrange this opportunity to modify a little bit our technologies and products if it's necessary for the markets. What are the kind of market strategies we may choose? We may choose export or licensing if we are based on our technology. For example, we already developed technology, we choose the market push strategy, and we take care about the intellectual property protection. So we may apply for exporting or just sell license. We may ask for the joint ventures. It's some kind of cooperation or strategic alliances, and a little bit later I will show you difference between the joint ventures and strategic alliances. Also, we can open some kind of subsidiary or buy startup project abroad, or buy the company abroad and start our direct ownership, or trading companies. We may ask trading companies or technological companies abroad to help us and promote our product or technology into the foreign markets. Summary for this first lecture. So the first summary, the first conclusion. Actual entrepreneurship itself is a process that can be taught. The first issue, finding and evaluating innovative technologies. This is the concept of the technology entrepreneurship. Also, the second issue, planning a new business venture. So that's why we are talking about the global markets. Actually, we create something else. We apply for the venture in the global environment. And the third issue, managing for profitability and the growth. We want to develop ourselves, we want to push our technology, we want to expand our business, our strategy. That's why we should take care about the global strategies. Yeah. And of course, nowadays the technological entrepreneurship is a leading part of industrial markets. Yeah. That's why we should take care about the technologies, we should investigate market needs, and we should have enough competencies to be successful in global markets. And here the first assignment, my dear students, please think about these questions which are based on this material from the topic number 1, and we will discuss these questions during our class. Okay, I finish with my lecture today. Thanks a lot for active listening, and see you in class. Bye.